Hey everybody, welcome to Hit Rewind. I'm Michael and that's John.
This is John.
You know what's funny? It sounded like I was wrapping up the episode. And this is John. Thank you for watching. Um, this is the hardest episode we've ever done, in my opinion. This was one seriously fucking rough bag. Even if I kind of liked the movie, checking notes. No, none of these movies I particularly would watch again, even though I've seen one or two of them before. Holy fuck.
Well, one of them, and I guess maybe we should start with the first one.
Yeah.
The one that I did not like really at all, which the Swarm.
Jesus Christ, why is it 2.5 hours long? What the fuck?
Well, that's just it. Is apparently theatrically it was only like an hour and 40 or something like that, and I guess at this point it's pretty much the full cut is the only thing you can find.
Right. And I guess they said, oh, well, it didn't make any sense. It wasn't very good in theaters. Guess what, fuckers? Well, it's still not good.
Yeah, adding an extra, 40 minutes to it didn't make it any better.
Yeah, I just can't believe how hard he stumbled. Irwin Allen was doing pretty good there for the first couple films, and then he just got too big for his britches, cashed the big check, whatever they call it, the blank check movie. And I mean, it's got a hell of a cast, and nobody looks like they're giving a performance worth a damn. The plot, incoherent. And it's long as shit, and it's very boring, and I don't care. I'm not terrified of fucking bees. I am terrified of burning in a very tall building or drowning in an upside down boat.
Well, I remember killer bees being a huge deal when I was a youngin' in the 90s in California. They're treated the same way that Fox News currently treats migrants. They're on their way, and there's no way we can stop them. It's only a matter of time before they arrive and destroy everything.
Yeah.
And so I didn't realize that this fear of killer bees had started in the 70s. I genuinely thought this was a 90s thing because they're like, well, they're going to come on through Central America and through Mexico and into the southern United States. And it's like, well, shit, they were already saying that in the 70s, and they didn't fucking happen.
Yeah.
So, well, it did, but not to the extent that anyone was ever really afraid of.
No, it's funny is there were so many B movies in the 70s. I don't mean B as in quality. I mean, there was like 2 or 3 TV movies. There was a British film like in the late 60s, and then there was a knockoff of this because Roger Corman thought it was going to be big. With John Saxon, I think, is in one of them, like the one's called just The Bees. It's weird how this was just this one thing everybody locked into.
Yeah, and really, this is the silliest disaster film that we've watched. These swarms of bees, swarms of bees in real life really aren't a joke. They can kill you. But this film acts like they're the sharks in Jaws 4.
Yep.
Well, like, this time it's personal. They cause a helicopter to crash. They derail a train. I mean, good lord.
Well, and it's funny is it's not just the fact that disaster movies were so popular. It was also nature run amok. And the first few, like Jaws and Grizzly and stuff like that, they did make a lot of money. But by 78, we got like fucking orca, bleh, tentacles, bleh, piranha, yay. But that was meant to be a spoof of all this, yeah. So it's like he was trying to combine both for this epic film. He probably thought, oh, I'm going to make $100 million at the box office. Let's spend the money. And then, no.
Well, also, I actually tuned out for a little bit, like the last third, and I guess I missed a nuclear explosion or something.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it just kind of like, I was reading back, like the plot and going, when the fuck did that happen?
Oh, I love the guys trying to burn them all with flamethrowers and end up burning themselves or their friends. It was a nuts movie. And these people, like, I think the problem is that it's not just boring. Either the people aren't putting any effort into their character or they're putting all the effort into their character. There is some fucking daytime soap opera acting in this that I couldn't believe it. The director never said, no, bring it down a little bit.
Well, that's just it. It's like, it gets dumb, but not even fun dumb. It's just dumb. And that's the problem. It's like, I can enjoy when a movie is just over the top, silly, a dumb fun time.
Yeah.
And this is just like, why? He said, the guy's trying to burn the bees with the flamethrowers. And just like, this is just sad.
Yeah.
And then the people, doing their best Star Trek acting.
Yeah.
As they get killed.
Yeah, it's just God. It's an infamous bomb for a reason. I mean, we watched some bad movies. Like Beyond the Poseidon Adventure was pretty bad, but it was still entertaining. But I'm guaranteeing you, Michael Caine regretted. Like every single day, it's like, God damn it, I got one more movie after this fucking piece of shit. Okay, let's start filming. But this is the same guy who took. He did take Jaws 4. Yeah. Jaws 4 was like 7 years later and he still said yes. So I'm not sure he is the biggest quality kind of guy. It wasn't until, I mean, there's Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and Hannah and Her Sisters in there, but it does seem like he has terrible taste when he's the star. Like, he's a great support, especially in his later years when Nolan realized, hey, this guy's gold as like a fourth banana.
Yeah, so he's a good actor, but yeah, he's not. There's nothing good here. Nothing at all.
What is our next film?
Ralph Bakshi's Wizards.
God damn it. Bakshi, look.
Yeah.
I know he was trying to make adult, animation aimed at adults. But his design is fucking weird. It doesn't necessarily appeal to adults. I mean, it is a very interesting signature that he does have. But his ideas are also all over the place, and they're always too big for the budget. God damn it, he has to cut so many fucking corners all the time, and it's really obvious.
Yeah, the thing is, this looks very much like a really shitty 80s cartoon. And, it's like, it's He-Man.
Yeah.
And even He-Man looks better than this. But not by much.
It looks more She-Ra to me, but yeah, I get it.
But yeah, it's a post-apocalyptic movie that's also a fairy tale. And
there is so much fucking story crammed into like 20 minutes of the first 20 minutes of the movie. Is like, hey, this is 20 years from now when this happens, and then this happens, and then fast forward and people are coming back, and there's only a few survivors, and they become mutants, and then the fairies come back after years of being dormant. Now, this lady was born with 2 twins. One's evil, one's good. Fast forward, she's old and she's dying. Oh, fast forward to 3,000 years later. Jesus.
Yeah, and everyone's from Brooklyn, and except for well. Okay, I understand what the idea behind the movie was, which is propaganda is one of the worst things that can happen, and it can make regular people into monsters, and it can destroy society and things like that. The only problem is the propaganda that is shown to these mutants is speeches that I'm pretty sure they don't understand the language of. True. Which kind of makes it fairly ineffectual, because all you have is a guy, it's Hitler. He's got Nazi propaganda that's kind of showing. It's Hitler yelling, and, what the hell is he yelling about? We don't know, because it's in German. What these mutants, 3,000, 10,000 years later from the end, from World War III, not even World War II, they don't know German. There's no Germany. Apparently, that's where our heroes start from, though. if I was reading the Wikipedia stuff right.
Oh my God, you did that effort. I should have actually done that too, just to understand it more. It's so mushy. It seems like he wants to do 5 different films in one. A wacky comedy with elves and an old man who doesn't know what he's doing. He sounds like he sounds like he's been fucking like a roadie from Grateful Dead, somehow still alive. And then there's the hardcore violence, and it's just the tonal shifts and the fantasy and the horror and the sci-fi. It's just, what the fuck?
You have the fairy with skiffy clothes and her tiggle bitties.
Yeah, Bakshi, if you like curvaceous women, it's him and Frazetta basically doing that during the 70s. And, lo and behold, 5 years later we get Fire and Ice from them. I don't know. I don't think Bakshi did more than one good movie. One good movie, and that's American Pop. Everything else is so compromised and so fucking strange. And it's just
what's funny is this makes Cool World seem like a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah. He made his money because he made the first X-rated counterculture cartoon in 71 or 72, Fritz the Cat. That made so much money it gave him plenty of leeway to get movies made. just not for very much money. You see all sorts of, like, there's rotoscoping, there's weird, like, narrations over paintings, which are gorgeous. I'm telling you what, Mike Plug, his artwork was astounding.
Yeah, that all those the pencil art that's in there is so good. I think it is inked. It is inked.
Yeah, and then there's like sequences where it's clearly like filming guys running against. I don't know if it's shot in black and white, and then he mats it over to make it look like it's animated. I don't know what he did with this. It's weird.
I'm pretty sure he found stock footage of stuff, because there's people running with like siege towers and shit. I think he found some medieval action film.
Yeah, and he did it 2 years later, or maybe it was the next year, with the Lord of the Rings movie that he did. He's using all. I mean, this seems like a test run to be able to pull off Lord of the Rings.
And there's like a weird I'm guessing anti-Semitic, I don't know, bit where there are these two priests that are in a church that basically is like a church to everything. And you're sitting there kind of watching, going, this feels anti-Semitic.
Well, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure Bakshi is from Palestine. Not to get into that. There might be something.
That would probably explain it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a crazy. It seems like the kind of movie that would have been very popular at a midnight showing after you've smoked a bowl. That's probably what the audience was for. It was not mainstream by any means. I can't imagine what the fuck it would have been like if a parent accidentally took their kid to this. Holy shit.
Yeah. And Mark Hamill was in this, in his first feature film debut.
Yeah.
And he's the best thing in the film, because everyone else in this film is bored or choose scenery way too much, or just can't fucking act.
Yeah, it's an idea that's too big for what he could accomplish. Bakshi really isn't that talented, and I think if he had handed this off to somebody else, it probably would have been a little bit better. But it's such a fucking bizarre idea. It feels like it's just 12 movies rammed into one, at least, or 12 plot lines, I should say.
Yeah, and my wife and I were watching this, and we ended up having to pause the film to have a conversation about the fact that, going back with the curvaceous women and stuff, every female character has their nipples poking through whatever they're wearing, to which we had to have a conversation as to how this could be. Because, unless it's cold everywhere that they're going at all times, I made it, it's canon, as far as I'm concerned. Everyone has nipple rings. And that's what we're seeing, is actually those.
Yeah,
it's in the far future, so of course it actually called what was going to happen in the future.
Let me ask you this about the end. It's very strange. He spends all that time talking about peace, like, oh my god, I killed somebody, let's not do this, let's not be a warring group, whatever. And then he walks up to his brother and he goes, let me show you a magic trick, pulls a gun out of his sleeve and shoots him right in the fucking head.
Yeah, kind of an anticlimactic.
Yeah. It's like Bakshi chickened out and said, well, I better give the audience what they want. I don't know what his point was. Hypocrisy is the point?
Probably. It's war and violence make hypocrites of us all.
Yeah.
Even the best of us.
It might be the most interesting, though, of all the movies, because it's so complicated, like in its ideas and how it was done. Yeah.
It definitely has a lot more conversation than some of the movies we've had.
Yeah.
In the past.
What is the next film?
Our next one is actually the one I liked the most, and that is Coma.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of 50-50 on it. Some of the stuff seemed really strange, like behavior-wise, but I think Crichton did a good job. Oddly enough, not from his own concept. He took it from Robin Cook, who's like the master of medical dramas.
And what's creepy about this is it is a fear that we all have going to the hospital. You can't. It's not something like Jaws or anything like this where you can avoid going in the water.
Yeah.
You don't have to go into rural Texas. You don't have to do a lot of these things. But at some point, we're all going to have to go to a hospital.
Yeah, that's the horrible part. Yeah, and then the if it goes wrong, and the mystery of why does... See, the thing is so stupid, though. is that they really overreached. They thought they could just keep doing this and no one would pick up on it. I mean, fucking come on. You'd have to be arrogant. No, pompous. Pompous is when you think you're right.
Yeah, well, let's be fair. These are these are doctors, especially the high-ranking people in a hospital. Of course, they're pompous assholes and believing that they can do anything without anyone finding out.
Yeah. And we got a double appearance by Richard Widmark because he's in this and Swarm. Significant roles, too. I kind of thought his career had tapered off by this point, but no.
Yeah, and also young Michael Douglas, where I was kind of shocked at how young he looked.
Yeah.
Going, oh, shit. And then also Ed Harris in his first movie, and a young Tom Selleck as well.
Oh, and Tom Selleck, this is his mustache appearance, I think it's the first time, and he's just like, he's only in it for, 5 minutes at most? At most.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
he's a patient.
Yeah, his charm just automatically does, who is that guy?
Well, the same thing. Ed Harris is surprisingly much better than you would think for, a guy just kind of starting out.
Yeah, well, I think he's about a year and a half away from getting... What is that fucking movie that, is it called Night Riders? The George Romero?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Night Riders.
Yeah, it's mostly, what is her name, damn it? The lady who stars in it.
I can't remember.
French lady, I can't remember all of a sudden. But, it's mostly her movie to, Genevieve Bajul? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Genevieve, who was also in Earthquake.
Ah, that's right. I was like, what did I just see her in not that long ago? But as a younger actress, yeah, it's fun watching the mystery unravel. But sometimes you got to go, why would you hang them like that? I don't understand. Why have all those bodies hanging from wires? It's so precarious and dangerous. Why?
Yeah, and apparently in real life too, it was not good for those people to be hanging like that.
No, fuck no.
But I will say this, there's a bit where this film does drag, and that's where our heroine is forced to take a vacation for a little bit, and it's just a little montage of people having fun and stuff, and it's kind of going, this is actually a surprisingly nice, tight little paranoid thriller.
Yeah. Take that out.
Why are we stopping for this crap?
Yeah, so Lance Ago, who most people would not know that name, he plays the assassin. This is kind of the role that all of a sudden people started noticing him getting cast in a lot of stuff. He was like the king of 80s action shows. He narrated Airwolf. He was the main villain, I think, in 2 and 3 of A-Team. He was in Werewolf as the guy hunting the werewolf. He was kind of like one of those guys, just around a lot during the 80s, and he's got a very deep voice. Agent Ford and Decker, that kind of thing. I looked him up. Country singer, one of Elvis's stunt doubles, and just kind of very interesting character if you look him up.
Okay. It's worth checking out.
Yeah, because it wasn't just country singer. He was doing like psychedelia, and before that he was doing like soda pop rock of the early. It's just like this guy was all over the place, chameleon.
There's one thing that made me laugh in this movie though. One of the patients, I should say bodies, that gets knocked over on our villain, or assassin villain anyway. I swear to God, he looks like Nathan Fillion. And it's not, obviously, but I'm sort of going, oh my God, it's Nathan Fillion, I cannot unsee this. Just watching him get pushed off of a hanging, of a thing of meat hooks, basically.
Yeah. But you are right about Coma. There's so much that could have been trimmed. It seemed like it was so overlong. They could have cut 20 minutes out of the thing easily and still been as good.
Yeah, I think that I enjoyed this one a lot. It's not perfect, but it is, especially of what we saw, it is definitely the best.
What is next?
The Eyes of Laura Mars.
Cosmopolitan horror. But it's not a horror. It's a thriller. We want to win an Academy Award here, people. Don't make this a horror film.
Well, it's an American Giallo film.
Yep. John Carpenter, one of his few scripts that were sold without him even working, no production or no directorial credit.
And it also apparently changed because they changed who the villain was.
Okay.
Which I think was probably Brad Dourif, because they totally pinned it on him the entire time. and it feels like it makes the most sense that he would be the bad guy.
Yeah, it is weird. Like when they switch it over, and spoilers, people, it's Tommy Lee Jones, which did surprise me. But I'm also like, when it happened, I was like, but why? What? Huh? Like it just felt so forced.
But this has got a hell of a cast though, because you got Faye Dunaway, Tommy Lee Jones, Brad Dourif, Renee Auberjonois, who even back then he looked old, but then again he was also pushing 40. But Raul Julia, it's got some good people.
Well, I mean, at the time, Faye Dunaway had just come off of Network, and I think 3 Days of the Condor. She was red hot, but this is about it. Once the 80s come around, she does Mommy Dearest, and that changes everything. And all of a sudden, everybody, and I think Mommy Dearest is fucking fascinating. It's a crazy performance, but everybody saw it as just shit. Like, it's just campy, unintentionally funny, and it ruined her career. But also, she's kind of notorious for being very difficult to work with, which, don't want to do that in Hollywood because you have a couple flops and everybody's gunning for you.
Yeah, and this has got an interesting concept. The idea that it's she's got this psychic connection to a serial killer, and when that connection started, for whatever reason, she started doing these provocative art pieces that are like a mixture of sex and violence that kind of mirror things that this killer has done.
Yeah, is this the most?
The problem is.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Is this the most infamous giallo? Like American, like big budget, notorious cast? I can't think of anything else that got such a, because it's always usually really grimy, like grindhouse films, Italian imports or low budget American, like what Raising Cain is probably a giallo. That was pretty well known, but it wasn't a hit.
Yeah. That's it. We never really did it that well. I mean, it's the stuff that you get Dario Argento, Mario Bava, Lucio Fulci, those guys. They were the ones who were seem to be able to make these films, good or for ill, however you feel about these things.
Right.
Is matter of taste and tolerance.
Well, I will say this is probably the most tasteful of that genre.
But this is, it makes sense that, John Carpenter came up with this idea and then went around and then almost immediately thereafter did Halloween. And, you kind of have a very similar visual aesthetic at moments between these two films, because this is also directed by Irving Kershner.
Is this what got him Empire Strikes Back? That'd be weird if it was. I can't think of anything else, though.
Yeah, no, I'm sure it's not necessarily that this got him that, but it basically was, oh yeah, hey, he's got a, because I think this did well,
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, here's a guy, he's got, he can make you money. Let him do your second space movie.
Well, that, and Lucas could not direct actors. He didn't like doing it, so I think he probably chose someone who's like, hey, this guy can handle an ensemble. Yeah, I think he was an acting teacher at one time, too. But it's just kind of funny, like, this is what led, you never would expect. That probably wouldn't happen today.
No, probably not.
Well, no, hold on a second. I forgot fucking Doctor Strange. That was Scott Derrickson after he had come off a couple lower budget horror films. So, hey, you never know.
Well, he had also done Day the Earth Stood Still, which was a high budget.
Oh, okay.
Nightmare that wasn't any good.
All right.
I'm sure he can work with effects.
It's fine. I don't know if I'd watch it again. I saw it a long time ago. I'm a big John Carpenter guy, but this, I mean, it's just his script, and it was just polished off by someone else. It doesn't feel very Carpenter-y.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's a good one-time watch. I think Tommy Lee Jones is motivation for why he's doing it's really stupid.
Yeah.
It just, if again, that feels so much like that was where the rewrite was. And again, that's what Carpenter says. But It's like, I think that was a last minute, we can't do the most obvious thing, because I even looked at it, like Brad Dourif at that time wasn't typecast as a villain.
Right. Chucky's 10 years away.
Yeah, it's like I'm bringing in a lot of personal baggage on Dora, being, oh yeah, of course the villain's going to be Red Dora. He's the fucking bad guy and everything.
Is this our next one? Our final film? I can't remember.
Next one is the final one.
All right, what is it?
Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger.
Holy fuck, those special effects are amazing. Holy fuck, Patrick Wayne is bad.
I will argue on the special effects looking good.
I liked them. I had fun.
That baboon looks so damn terrible.
It's so funny, as I was reading on Wikipedia, and then people were convinced that was a real ape. I was like, huh? I mean, I bet it's an animatronic.
Well, then again, people are dumb, so.
Yeah, that's it. Like, Patrick Wayne has the look. He does look very dashing and, very swashbucklery. But then when he says words, no. Not very interesting.
Yeah. This was, weirdly enough, this is the one I was actually looking forward to the most because I had such a good time with the last one.
It's the same team, and I just like, where the fuck is? Well, it was John Philip Law not available. He was pretty good as Sinbad.
Yeah, he was fun. He was perfectly swashbuckling. Now we have this asshole who just he can't act his way out of a paper sack.
Yeah, and it's
he doesn't look bad.
I think also the problem is Gordon Hessler knew it was a B movie. He really relished in it with the last one, whereas Sam Wanamaker was trying to make this more legit, and by doing that, made it less fun.
Yeah, although we do get in this one, the second Doctor is in this one, Patrick Troughton. He's the Greek. But yeah, like I said, we have the second Doctor in this one, playing the Greek. But I have no idea what the hell happened, like in the opening. It's like this guy catches fire or something, and we end up finding out that he gets turned into a baboon. But I have no clue what even kicks this thing off. And then at some point, Sinbad fights weird alien zombies.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a cool bit where one of them cuts down one of the supporting beams on there. That's great interaction. That's good on them for everything. But oh my god, Peter Mayhew is the Minotaur, at least in the costume.
Yeah.
So you got
with his debut, right? This comes out a month before Star Wars? I can't remember.
No, this is after Star Wars.
Okay.
So I think this was 78, whereas Star Wars 77.
Do you think it's weird that for a while we seem to be like on a regular basis making movies that were like Arabian Nights and Alibaba and Aladdin and Sinbad? Like it seemed like Hollywood was really fixated on that kind of fantasy film.
Well, a lot of it is it's that whatever's in the public domain, of course.
True.
And also the same thing is like sword and sandal epics. The idea that just get some people out in the middle of the desert, put them in some goofy costumes. Say they're in Rome. Say they're in the Middle East. Put them on the in the water tower for a little bit. They're on the sea now.
Yeah,
it's fairly cheap to do. So
yeah, true.
That's why Westerns were a big thing.
Well, yeah, that in international production, sometimes you can get, half American company and somebody else will fund the other half. And we just have to cast a couple British actors. Yay, we're good. Why is this so fucking long? Why is this almost 2 hours? There's no reason. This is a Saturday matinee movie. It should be 80 minutes, 90 minutes.
It's a PG movie that has full nudity in it that we don't really get to see. Because Jane Seymour is apparently fully nude. And all we get is like a little bit of her back and a little bit of side.
Right. Her hair is amazing, by the way. It never stops amazing me.
Yeah, but I would have forgiven this film for being dull if our Sinbad wasn't like a lump of cardboard.
Yeah, it was a huge mistake not to ask John Philip Law back. I was like, that's your guy right there. I mean, mind you, when we're still casting white guys in a role that they were not Caucasian.
Yeah, but again, that's an of its time thing, and
yeah.
At least he wasn't in brown face.
When is the last time
At
we
least
saw?
not that I can tell.
Well, I feel like there's a couple of direct-to-video Sinbads, but the last time they really attempted something big, and I think it was that animated movie, which is over 20 years ago. I don't think we're ever going to see Sinbad again, except for maybe like in a TV show or like another direct-to-video movie.
Yeah, most likely. And that's a property that at this point, if they're going to do it, you're going to want to have an Arabic person of some kind.
Yeah.
Try to figure out, where is he from? Okay, what Middle Eastern country would that be? Now, can we get an actor who is, can not only not just can do it, but can be charismatic and can draw.
Yeah.
So honestly, you'd be more likely that a Bollywood film would do it more so than American.
Yeah, a musical Sinbad would add something new to the genre, the legend.
Okay, Bollywood, where famous director is there, go and do it. We gave you an idea.
Yep. All right.
America.
And normally I say, hey, what's your favorite of the 5? I ain't saying shit. I didn't really like any of these.
Well, I already said what mine was, which I liked Coma the best out of this group.
I guess, but I don't think I'd ever watch it again. This was a little bit more work than normal, because usually even when they're kind of bad, I'm having fun with it. I didn't really have any fun.
Like I said, yeah, it's like Swarm. Like I said, I tuned out. It's not as bad as The Man Who Fell to Earth, where I just gave up.
Oh yeah.
At least I finished all these.
Well, everybody, we're getting to the end of this season. Jacob's already signed off for the year. John, you're signing off now. I may do a few special episodes, but what is it, 12 years of this now? I'm taking the winter off so I can just watch whatever the hell I want. We'll be back in January, and we'll continue. We still got some more movies of the 70s, but we're gonna be chucking on through to the 80s. I can't wait to touch onto like the sword and sorcery era of the early 80s and the Star Wars knockoffs and stuff like that.
Oh man, if we gotta do the Deathstalker movies.
Oh,
it's been a while.
Maybe
it's been a long while since I've done this, and there's a new one coming out.
Oh, that's true. I heard it's fun. I don't know about it. Watch anything after part 2 though. Though, if I watch the Mystery Science Theater 3000 version of part 3, yeah.
Oh man, if you find it, yeah.
All right, everybody. Have a good one. Thank you, John, for another great season.
All right. Thank you for having me, man.
Bye.